Hey guys, my name is Tasha B, and I wanted to talk about an app that I came across more recently, and it has greatly helped my business. And it is an app called FLYP. And FLYP is a reselling tool that is two parts. It is an automation tool as well as a selling or consignment platform. Today we'll be discussing the consignment side of FLYP. More specifically, the pro seller side. We'll have the pro seller side as well as the client side. Now, clients are individuals that are looking to clear out inventory or just people who want to find others to sell their clothes for them. And the pro sellers are individuals like you and I, people that are looking to have available items that they are unable to source or unable to have access to. Now, the pro seller, they are responsible for listing, pricing, packing, and shipping of the item. They are able to sell on any platform of their choice. Once they are matched with a lot, they pretty much have that room to negotiate for sales and to get that item sold for the client. Now, the app is very user-friendly. You would simply just download the app. You would go ahead and apply to be either a pro seller or a client. Now, once you apply to be a pro seller, you have to get approved. And once you're approved, that is when you can go ahead and proceed to create your bio. Once you create your bio, you would simply just wait for lots to drop. On the Eastern side, they drop daily at 6 p.m. Now you'll get a notification on your app when the lots drop. And when the lots drop, you can go into the app and scroll through the numerous amount of lots that they have. The lots are a group of items that a client puts together that they wish to be sold by the pro seller. So as you're scrolling, you would simply just look through a lot that you are interested in. You click into the lot, and what you'll notice at the very top, a number near the term applications. And that is basically other sellers also applying for that lot if you see a number there. If you do not, you'd be the first one to apply for that lot. Now, after you apply for a lot or several lots, you would then wait to be matched with a client. Now, the way FLYP works, it operates off of commission. When you pick up a lot, you are essentially selling an item for a client. Now, because the client provided those items to you, they would receive a portion of the sale. Now, here are two tips I would suggest. The first one is to make sure you have a private mailbox if you don't have one already. The second one is that you can actually exclude items from your lots. I didn't know that before, but when you're applying for FLYP lot, you can go right when you're scrolling through a particular lot that you're interested in. If you find that there's an item there that you don't like, you can simply exclude that item. So to apply for a lot, you would submit your commission suggestion. So if you are looking to obtain 50% of the sale or 60% of the sale, you would just submit that in order to submit your application for that particular lot. Now, some of the lots, they do get pretty competitive. I do know that for new sellers or sellers, I would say with a low sell-through rate, when you are applying for lots, you want to submit a lower commission rate. That would help you secure some of those lots a little bit better because it'll be more appealing to the client. Either way, that's how you would apply for your lots. You would submit your commission rate. Now, you do have up until 8 a.m. the next day for you to hear back on whether or not you are a match. Now, if you are a match, you will get a notification on FLYP. Once you are matched with a lot, you would then be prompted to submit your price estimates. Now, your price estimates are pretty much guesstimates of what you think you can sell the item for. So, for example, if you have an Old Navy men's t-shirt and you think you can sell that item for a minimum of $5 and a maximum of $12, you would then put that range there. Now, you can't go too far or too wide in the range. If you think you can sell the Old Navy shirt for a maximum of $10, I would probably submit my range from maybe $6 to $8 or $5 to $8. Now, once you submit your price estimate, then the client can decide whether or not they are going to approve that or deny that. If you get denied, it's okay. You would just go on to the next lot. But if you do get approved, then the client will then ship the items out to you. Now, once you receive your items, you have to go ahead and inspect your lots completely and fully. You want to make sure there's no damages. You want to make sure there are no holes, nothing that is opposite of what was described. And unfortunately in Flip, there's really just a small section where they can add descriptions. So if there are defects or damages, stains, or anything like that, it's not really that much room for the client to add that, primarily because they're really not supposed to be sending you that stuff. But if you check out other Flip reviews, you'll hear certain stories. And even myself, I've received lots that were not that great, lots that had slits or cuts in the product, things like that. So if you do get an item that is damaged, you would just simply mark that item as damaged and you are not responsible for that item. Now, what happens when you get a sale? So once you get your lots and you inspect the lot and you confirm receipt of the lot, you would then begin your listing, and you do have 2 weeks to get those items listed. So once you start your listing process, you start to take your pictures, you start to upload the items and get them listed on the platforms of your choice. Then you wait for them to be sold. And once you sell the item, you will then go into the app and you have to mark that item as sold, and you have to identify which platform that the item sold on, and the price. For example, if you sell an item on Poshmark for $20, Poshmark site fees are 20%. Therefore, you are not getting $20, you are actually getting $16. However, on the Flip app, you still have to mark that you sold the item on Poshmark for $20. And if your commission structure is 50%, you have to pay the client $10, which is 50% of 20, not 50% of 16, which is what you actually receive from Poshmark. So basically, pro sellers are responsible for the site fees. That's what we pay the portion for. But clients, they pay the Flip fees. So anything associated with shipping the item and the fees to Flip, that's paid for by the client. However, we as the pro sellers will pay the site fees. Let's say you sell an item, that same item, for $20 on eBay, but the customer paid for the shipping. And so let's say you walked away instead of the $20 with maybe $23, you can back out that $3 difference and still mark the item as sold for $20 on Flip. Once you mark the item as sold on Flip, there is a waiting period before you're actually paid for the item that is sold. So typically when the item is sold, there's a shipping process, and when it's delivered to the customer, then that site would release the funds to you. So once you receive your payment from that site, then you can go ahead and go into the Flip app to pay the client what their portion of the commission structure is. Now, after your 90 days on Flip, all the items that are unsold, you have a few options with those items. One of the options are to actually return the items back. Now, another option is to donate the items. So if there are items that are left behind, that can be an option as far as what to do with the remaining items or pieces. Another option you have is a buyout. So what you can do is you can analyze what is remaining, and then you can go ahead and submit an offer to the client on what you would like to actually purchase the remaining of the lot for. And the final option is to extend your selling period. And it would extend your period if the client agrees by another 45 days. So if you feel confident about the items that you can sell them, you can get through those lots a little bit quicker and help that client make a little bit more money, then you can go ahead and request to extend the selling period. So once you submit those options, the client will then decide or let you know what you can do with the remaining pieces. Now, my experience on Flip. So my first time on Flip, I applied for 5 lots. I believe it was encouraged to apply for all lots when you're super new, and it's basically to just increase your chances of getting a lot. I didn't do that. So I was a little nervous because some of these lots have 20-30 items in it, and I was like, no, I'm not gonna do that. But I did go ahead and I applied for 5 lots, and I actually received all 5 lots. After 90 days for the lots that I originally had, one of those lots I actually returned back to the customer per their request for the remaining items. The other lot, there was another lot that I actually donated per the request of the client. And the remaining 3 lots, anything that was left over, I actually sent out buyout offers, which the client accepted. So I do have those items and we are selling those items. Overall, I think Flip is a really great app. It is a great opportunity, and I kind of look at it like a win-win opportunity for the seller as well as the client. Like I said, it gives clients opportunities to get their items sold for them without them having to do all the listing, negotiating, and all the pricing, everything that's associated with selling on these other platforms. And for pro sellers, it's an opportunity to actually test out different clothing brands, to try out different items. So if you are typically a children's reseller, then maybe you can tap into the men's category or the women's category, which was the case with me. Most of my sales in the past were mostly my kids' clothing. Using Flip, it gave me opportunity to get more men's items listed on my shop, as well as different brands of women's items. So I think that was a plus for me. Also allows me to test out different brands. So different brands, so I can get a feel for what sells well, what doesn't. Obviously, you can do your comp research and check to see which items have a high sell-through rate and things like that. But again, it was just an opportunity for me to try out different brands and to just give this app a try. I would give the app a 8 out of 10. I think it's really awesome. I think what I'm not crazy about when it comes to the app is the fact that there is no kind of foolproof checking system, which is kind of hard to do because some clients, they will take advantage and they will just throw in a couple trash items in there, or they'll throw damaged items in there. Obviously, you can check them and mark those off so you're not responsible, but it's just kind of corny that people would really just throw them in there. So I feel like that's a negative side for the Flip side. But otherwise, it's been a great experience. I will continue to use Flip. I recommend Flip. I actually use their automation tool as well. So their cross-listing, their sharing tool, I use that as well. And I think that has been really helpful for my business. Overall, I think it is a game changer for resellers and people who are just trying out to see whether or not reselling is something that they would like to do. Now, if you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to drop it in the comments section. I also wanted to point out a reseller that I watch. Her name is Danielle Ray. I'll link her information below. She has a very thorough, detailed video on Flip, and I would recommend checking that out as well if you want more information. Thanks for watching. Until next time.